ISPS is the global group on a mission to raise awareness for blind and disabled golf. Stars of the game are backing the efforts of Japanese philanthropist Dr. Handa, who's committed to making golf a Paralympic sport in 2020.
Coming here to South Africa, ISPS, I think, has been, promoting a lot, helping people through the sports. I think golf should be a sport or Paralympic. And I have been thinking and realized a lot the power of sports.
The 2013 Race to Dubai schedule began with one of the world's iconic figures as our host. Yes, the inaugural Nelson Mandela Championship, presented by ISPS HANDA and located in Durban, the Rainbow Nation's third largest city. At the stunning Royal Durban Golf Club, all the famous faces from the Sunshine and European tours were on site to get early points towards the Race to Dubai, and this championship would have it all. Although usually spoiled with sunshine and perfect golfing conditions, there was a twist of fate and the heavens opened. There were long delays as the waterlogged course was cleared by green staff, leaving only 2 days of play.
Yeah, well, we hadn't started yet, so we were obviously glad to get going when we did. We knew, obviously, starting on the Saturday that it was just going to be 2 rounds. So it was probably a slightly different mindset, a bit more of a sprint rather than the marathon over 4 rounds. I hadn't actually played a practice round. So I was getting to know the course a little bit during that first round. And yeah, because of all the hanging around, it was a bit of a sluggish round, but I think it was 1 over par. So it could have been better, but yeah, obviously wasn't a disaster.
1 over par and 68th on the leaderboard, Jameson had a lot of work to do. Then it all started coming together in this sprint for first place.
I think in a 4-round event, if you're 6 off the lead going into the last round, you would know that a low round could possibly put you in the frame. But there was so many people between myself and first place that I probably didn't really think it was a possibility until, well, after I played 9 holes of the round that day, and I started thinking, if I could get to 7 or 8 under here, it may have a chance. And I did think I probably had to get to 8 under. So sneaking into the playoff at 7 under was nice.
So, having sneaked his way into contention, Jameson then had a nervous wait while the rest of the title-chasing pack came in.
I had all afternoon to sit around to see how the afternoon guys were going to do, and there was a couple. I think Tim Clark was the favourite, looking like he was going to. I think he'd got to 7 under at one point, and then he had a bit of trouble late on in his round. So then I had about an hour where I knew it was going to go to a playoff. So yeah, it was nerve-wracking, but exciting. That's why we play. And the other 2 guys that were in the playoff as well had the same situation. They'd hung around all day. So then it's just a case of who can handle the nerves the best.
The light was fading fast as the playoff began. Eduardo de la Riva was eliminated with a bogey on the first extra hole, and when the remaining 2 replayed the 18th, the same fate befell Steve Webster, left off the tee and even more left out of the rough, leaving Jameson with 2 putts for his maiden victory.
Yeah, fantastic feeling. It's a mix of relief and and joy. But to get the first win under your belt. I think now when I tee it up in a tournament, I feel, definitely feel 100% that I belong here and that I can contend.
They all came, they all tried. The rookies against the proven, all vying for their place in history and the name on that trophy. However, it would be courageous Scott Jameson who lifted the inaugural Nelson Mandela Championship trophy, presented by ISPS HANDA.